Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana is still holding above our trend line. So that trend line which keeps the trend up here is still holding and we haven't broken it. And the price is also holding above the last critical key level that I mentioned to you. So what did we talk about yesterday? That as long as we're holding above that $212 level, there is no indication of a top and we could see further upside extensions. The microstructure is quite messy, but overall, I'm using here the trend line and the key levels to track the trend higher, which can easily still extend, of course. If we, however, get a first indication for a top, then this support region will be relevant. Fibonacci support between $160 and $190, but overall, still looking for higher prices, and we're around $10 away from an all-time high. So I wanted to share with you again just the bigger picture, just a quick look at the bigger picture. Like 2 days ago, I gave you an outlook like over the next cycle as well. You will find that video here on the channel, but this is still sort of what I'm tracking at the moment, right? That we are in this, and I'm not saying that trend channel needs to hold. I simply connected these two highs. That's not, it's just to indicate that we are in a diagonal pattern, but the third wave is still extending. And my initial cycle target range is still between $368 and $489. Now 368, 370, there are 3 Fibonacci levels that actually meet there. I haven't shown the third one, but there are 3 levels that meet there. We talked about that, I think yesterday, a couple of days ago. So I think this area could act like a magnet. We have broken above the previous high, not yet above the all-time high, but we're like $10 away. Like, what is it? It depends a little bit on the exchange, of course, but the previous all-time high here on Binance, it's at, what's the high? 267, and we're now at 250. I know that's more than 10, but we've already reached, we were already a little higher today. We were around 254, I think, here. So very close, and that's good news. It's great. You know, we're getting closer to those cycle targets. It is short-term a bit of a mess, but we have key support. We're above support. Risk is high. The further away we are from support, I think that's clear as well. But to keep the risk low, if you're trading this in the short term, you can use the key levels that I provide so that you have an edge, and the trend line, right? That's key. But the trend overall is still up, and I'd like to see, before we wrap up this larger cycle, another 4-5 pattern. I'm watching for that on the Bitcoin chart as well. It aligns very well. It aligns very well to the Bitcoin chart. So let's take a look at the shorter time frame then for Solana. Here, that's exactly what I meant, right? So we have those cycle targets up there. It doesn't mean we have to get stuck there. Again, first of all, they range up to $489, and I'm not going to confirm a top until we really have broken some kind of support. But for now, still tracking higher. And in the short term, we can use those key levels. Now, in the last few days, I highlighted to you, look, we have this low. As long as we're holding above it, focus can be on higher. Then I mentioned to you, okay, we had a triangle pattern here. So as long as we're holding 212, we can focus on higher. Now, with that breakout above, I think the last key level or next key level is 230. And that is now the level that we can use to track the trend higher, around 230. And if that breaks, all that means is if that level breaks, it can, we can begin the top confirmation process. Until we break below that level, there is literally no evidence whatsoever that we have formed the top. And interesting is that the next Fib level around 262 is very close to that all-time high as well. So that's resistance, and then 278. And this could be where that wave 5 forms a top, maybe. But again, the trend line is keeping the trend up. There's no reason to fight the trend. We have a 3 touch point trend line, more or less, depending on how I draw it, whether you include the wick or not. But again, as the last pullback was in 3 waves, and as long as pullbacks are corrective in nature, and they are 3-wave structures, and we're not breaking below previous swing lows, there is no reason to fight the trend. And I've got a target of around 400, you could say, for this cycle anyway. So expected to go higher. If there is a dip, these can be opportunities, and the structure of the next larger pullback will be very important, because if it's corrective, this would be a wave 4, and we can still watch for another high in wave 5. The green count is a more extended one, but that doesn't make so much sense with these strong extensions now, but still possible. But overall, I will primarily watch for a wave 4 next here in this correction, but it hasn't started yet. So we'll see if that larger third actually takes us to all-time high more directly. Could happen because it's following Bitcoin quite well. The Solana chart, very similar structure to to Bitcoin actually. So yeah, that's the update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.